Number 5, most dating methods point to a young Earth. Does that surprise you? Very opposite of what we would be told. Walt Brown, PhD in mechanical engineering from MIT, whom we've already met in an earlier session, he lists 22 dating methods that point to a young Earth. 22 of them. Andrew Snelling, doctorate in geology, lists several dating methods that point to a young Earth in his book, Earth's Catastrophic Past. And there, of course, he's dealing with the flood, the catastrophe of the flood, and how the Bible says the fountains of the deep were unloosed. And you've seen pictures, I'm sure, and we all have an understanding that of what happens when water is just unleashed and huge power is there. And it has completely upended the way the world looks. Let me share with you some questions by Mark Cadwallader, a chemical engineer. Number 1, why do the oldest trees happen to be just a few thousand years old? The oldest ones. Oldest ones. You count all the rings, and you don't see any of them with 1 million rings around them, or 100,000 rings. Why is there so little helium in the atmosphere if such a quickly diffusing gas is escaping from rocks at high rates? Why are there radioactive halos preserved in granite rocks from elements with half-lives of only several minutes? Shouldn't still be there. Why do polystrate fossils pierce through so many different layers of supposed geologic time? You've got all this, what appears to be sediment, and then you're going straight through it. You can see, for example, a tree going right through it. That doesn't fit at all. That fits with the flood, but it doesn't fit with millions and millions of years. You got a tree that lasted millions and millions of years, and this thing is just a normal-sized tree? That doesn't fit. Why are carbon-14 dating measurements continually finding mere thousands of years for fossilized trees? He asks, why is C14 being found in some diamonds and coal in which all the radioactive carbon should be long gone because they're supposed to be millions of years old? Why are many gas and oil reservoirs under such high pressures so that they become gushers and flow of their own accord when rock porosity, permeability, and cracks are all around to relieve pressure over the supposed millions of years? He asks, why is the Earth's magnetic field decaying so rapidly, extrapolating backwards to levels that would be destabilizing within approximately 10,000 years? Why do we see so many comets in our solar system, since the comet tails are evidence of their volatile material boiling away as they pass by the sun? They should all have been consumed by now if the solar system is billions of years old. Why haven't the continents eroded nearly flat? Why haven't the oceans accumulated sediment thousands of feet deep if the Earth is really billions of years old? Have you heard when they built the moon landing module, the lunar module, they put these long legs on it because they were evolutionists. NASA is an evolutionary organization made up of evolutionary scientists, and they assumed that there would just be huge layers of dirt, and when the lunar module landed, it would go through that dirt, and hopefully it wouldn't be so deep that they would have troubles. And they landed, and it was just so much thickness of dust. They had to use a ladder. In fact, they didn't have a long enough ladder, they said, to get down. They weren't prepared for that eventuality. The observations, Dr. David Stone says, cited in the questions above are all affirmative evidence for a young Earth. Evolutionists will always come up with stories to try to explain away the simple, direct implication of these observations. It's up to you to discern between stories and evidence. His point is, you and I, if you don't have a science degree, should still be able to just look at that with the most basic of our understanding of science, with some common sense, and be able to say, that points to a young Earth.